There we go.
This recording.
All right, great. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to show you how the software works and walk through the scenarios that we discussed with pulling in, the bidding information, the payment information, how that would look, and discuss the possibilities around that, along with profiling the customer in terms of looking at their job history, payment history, and also any activities around interaction with your clients. It could be anything from, like we discussed earlier, the jobs that you have outstanding, the bids that you have outstanding, the ones you've lost, the payment history, and then any activities, like I said, that could be down to the level of simply opening an email or opting out of an email or an email bouncing back at the very granular level, all the way up to a high level, which is, how many bids do we have outstanding? So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and log in, and what we'll see initially is a dashboard. And on that dashboard, we'll set it up to show you what you want to see, but what we envision is a list of outstanding jobs or bids, next steps or actions that need to be completed, and you can simply go in here and check them off when they are done, and then they disappear from your dashboard. You'll be able to see metrics, and you can define the metrics that you want to see, outstanding jobs, jobs in progress, payments maybe that are past due. You'll be able to define the key statistics or the metrics that show up here on your dashboard, and then also show you how your opportunities are breaking down and where are they in the sales pipeline. So as we discussed a little bit earlier, Joe, you mentioned, your retail business and then the traditional commercial jobs. You might break them down by type here, where you're showing the retail opportunities in the pie chart. How many do we have outstanding, along with breaking that down into how many, traditional commercial projects are outstanding. And then again, we show you where they stand within the pipeline. Are they in the early phases? Are they in the bidding phases? And you can set up these phases. We allow you to customize the statuses or the phases to be what you want them to be very easily. And then you can see those phases right here on the dashboard. And you can also customize the types. You'll have a calendar as well here. You'll also have some warnings to say, look, you've got some past due tasks, some leads or some opportunities that don't have any follow-up steps, and you'll be able to click on those, and you can go in and see, what's going on with those. It shows them right there in a list. But from the dashboard, what I would imagine you would be able to see is you'll be able to go in and also see how many outstanding bids you have and where they stand. And then you can also go in and look at customers and see the profile behind each customer, and you can drill down on those. But then from the leads or the opportunities, I think Salesforce also called them opportunities, is again, you can drill down into those. And let me go find a good one here to drill down into. We have a really nice little search facility. You can see history right here. Like I said, any interaction you have with the client or with the opportunity, emails sent, bids submitted, proposals submitted, and then you can also see what the next steps are. But then you can also drill down into that and see everything about that opportunity, including the contact information on that opportunity, other contacts that are helping you with the bid, all the history. And then what I imagine we would do based on your requirements is we would have a bid history tab to see all the bid history, whether they were won or lost or they're still outstanding, along with the current bid that you're working on. So you'll know right away all the bid history. And then in addition to that, you would have another tab that would show you history of payments. You know, are they behind on their payments? Are they current on their payments? But you'll be able to see, just kind of like we can see in QuickBooks, all the invoices and all the payments right here. And then you'll know whether you want to continue with that bid or whatever you want to do.
How is your particular database being populated? Is this information you're pulling from somewhere, or is somebody actually doing hand data entry on this particular information?
Good question. Both. Information is coming in from multiple automated sources and interfaces. We have interfaces to lead sources, to different systems that bring in information. For instance, when you're looking at the history and you want to see, you know, we pull in information about like an email that bounced as an example here. That comes from another system that handles our email integration. But then we also have systems that pull in leads from their website, and then also requests for information or requests for quotes come in from their website, and other lead sources for builders as well. So there's multiple sources to bring the information in. We match them up to it. You know, if the customer's already in the database, to say, hey, you know, the person's already in there, you have a new opportunity for, and then we'll give you an alert. It says this is for an existing customer in big bold letters, just to kind of alert you that, you know, you already know about the customer. Or it'll say you have a new opportunity or a new bid request for a new customer. And so information comes in from a lot of places and is added to the system so that it can be seen in one spot. Did that answer your question, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how the technical aspect of it works, but you're telling me it does work.
Oh yeah. And it works very well. And we use it even ourselves as a company. You know, we'll pull in information from our own websites, from different lead sources. And then, of course, you always have the ability to hand key in information using these nice little pop-up screens. Let's say you have a new contact that comes in and say, okay, this is, you know, it could be anything from somebody that wants a job at your company, and you can say this is a potential employment opportunity, or whatever. But then if a new opportunity comes in, you can enter that as well, right here. Now, profiling a customer, you know, like we talked about, because, you know, managing your bids, managing your opportunities, and managing the follow-up for that is really, really important, as it should be for a CRM system. But managing the customer and just the general nurturing and the relationship with that customer is very important. You know, your owner or the boss picks up the phone and wants to call, you know, Dave Knowles in this case. He wants to find out everything about what's going on with him. You know, what has happened recently. Oh yeah, he got an email. Maybe he opted out of some emails. Maybe emails have bounced. Or, you know, you have a tab here on payment history and job history. And so he or she will know all the time what's going on with them, and then can make an intelligent and meaningful phone call, you know. And then that's managing the opportunity, managing the bids, and managing the client relationship. But then there's also email marketing, that you can send email campaigns directly from the system out to all your customers, all your opportunities. Maybe, you know, there's investors or other things that you might want to send campaigns to. You can do that right from the software as well. And then you can track, you know, when these things go out, you know, who did they go to and what happened? Did it bounce? Did they open the email, you know, or did they click on a link to go to your website? You can manage all that as well. And there's also a newsletter that we have in here, and then tons of reports to show you where everything stands, what the history is, basically, you know, how many bids are you getting? Are we doing proper follow-up to those bids and those opportunities? And then if not, you know, you can address it and go take some action on it. And then also you can run reports on where your leads are coming from. Like you asked, where does this data come from? You can run a report and say, well, I'm getting a lot of leads from this particular source. How are we doing on that? Because we spend a lot of money on it. Are we converting those leads into actual revenue and projects? And then you can show it on this report, and you can show it by date range as well. I know we're recording this, so I'm talking kind of fast so it doesn't get too long, but one of the things that we advocate very strongly in our CRM software is the follow-up. So when you have a bid or you have an opportunity, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to define follow-up plans based on the type of lead it is, when is their decision-making timeline. So if it's a 6-month out kind of thing, you can put a plan together for that. If it's a particular type of project, you can assign tasks to a particular person to go handle that. And then a lot of it can be following up with emails to say, thank you for the opportunity to bid on this job. We're working on it. We'll be contacting you shortly. That could be a bid that comes in, a bid request that comes in from the website, and then automatically they get an email to say, thank you for that opportunity. We're working on it. So, Joe, that's my vision for this, and we've been doing this for 8 years, like I said, and have done it very successfully for our builders, and it works very, very well. Now we're not perfect, and we'll never be perfect, but we'll continue to enhance the software and do things to make it more effective for our builders. Do you have any questions while we're still recording this, or?
Yeah, I got an easy one actually.
Okay.
How is your licensing? Is it open license, so it's just concurrent users, or is it named licenses where if you have 5, only those 5 specifics can be on the system at one time or at any time? How's your licensing?
Yeah, the licensing works with a flat monthly fee that covers 5 users. Okay, and there's no setup fee at this time for that setup, and the setup includes bringing in your data, setting up your users, training you. We do the branding, so your emails are branded to represent your company and your brand. So in this case, we're looking at Brock. This is a Brock Builder email, and that's part of the setup, and we don't charge for that. But then over and above the 5 users, we charge $25 a person for a login. It's not concurrent users or anything like that. It's who has access to the system.
Okay.
Now, we're not locked into that. We have other pricing models. We have flat monthly fees and basically an unlimited license. So we are flexible in the way we price it. That's just the more traditional one, is the base license.
From what I can tell here then is that this is web-based and this is maintained at your facility. Is that the way it works?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so we're logging into you to use this.
That's correct, and we maintain the system for you. We're always rolling out new updates. We're always rolling out training material and how-to guides and videos. We have a database of training material, how-to guides, best practices, and it includes an actual document, and it also includes videos. And then we roll out features of, roll out newsletters and announcements on the feature of the month. And then we have training sessions every single day. And you can log in and join the training sessions. There's one going on right now, actually. And then our support is very easygoing. You need something and you email us or you call us, and we're on call for support. So that's how
many active companies you have working for you right now?
Over 200.
Okay.
We've reached that milestone this year. We reached the 200 builder milestone this year. So,
would it be possible to get some off of that list so we can
oh
make
yeah.
calls?
Yes, actually, that's the best thing that we can do is let you contact our customers, and they can tell you how well we take care of them. On our website, we have a list of clients, but I have a reference sheet that I can provide, and that reference sheet has names and numbers, and then you can just see if you want to randomly just pick one off of this list and say I want to call this person, because you know how references are. I'm not going to, people don't give you references that aren't good, but I'd be happy to let you talk to any of our customers, and we're proud of the fact that we take good care of them. And you know what? I forgot. I'm sorry, Joe.
Go ahead. I was going to say, when you send that the YouTube link, include that information there.
Okay.
And if you have a pricing structure, include that also, so I can present that to whoever wants to see it at the office here. Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. And so I'll provide references and the YouTube and then pricing.
And you said you have multiple pricing plans, correct?
We do.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys haven't physically made the link. You're not linked with Spectrum at this point, but that is the hope for the future, that somewhere along the way you guys are actually partnered up and actively working together.
Yeah, and I'll let Scott jump in here a little bit too, but we met at the International Builder Show in January, and Scott has shared their API with us, their interface with us, and we've reviewed it, and it's very straightforward and matches well with what we're already doing for interfaces. So there's no weird, gotchas we can see in there.
Have you had any contact with Bid to Win out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire?
We have not, but you mentioned earlier, and I took a note on this, that it's a SQL database, which is what we have. So I don't see any issues with that either.
Yeah, somehow I've never been able to crack it with like Crystal Reports or anything like that. And what I use is SQL Report Builder. They have a tool that they call their management reporting that allows us to use SQL Report Builder, but the fields that are accessible, they have to give them to you. It's not like you have access to all fields, and I don't understand how it works, but it makes it a little bit tough sometimes to get exactly what you're looking for. So what I end up doing is I create a report, put it on a schedule, and email it out to everybody in an Excel format. So at least we have access to the information that I'm looking for that way.
Right.
Which means, and I don't know if that's the best way to do it or not.
Well, I can appreciate that, and we're easy, and for example, we provide a full export of all your leads, and every single field that has been made available for a lead in a way that you can just export it to Excel. Okay, so we're easy to work with. I just did it now for all my active leads in the demo account, and then I'm going to open up in a spreadsheet, and that's how easy it is to get the data out if you want to. Okay, and I just showed you real time how that works in this demo. Now, is that what you want? Maybe not, but it's just an example of how easy we are to work with when it comes to stuff like this. We don't want to throw up some big barrier and say, no. Oh, you want data out of the system now? Oh, that's weird.
No, and this is actually, I'm talking about the reverse process, that the only way I've been able to get information out of Bid to Win is with creating spreadsheet type reports. And I'm assuming that the worst case scenario, that's how I would get the information into your software, is if you could import from a spreadsheet or I don't know how else to tap their database, and maybe a phone call from you guys to them, and it's a 1, 2, 3 easy kind of step, but I don't have the technical capabilities to actually access their database.
And that's fine. It's a simple phone call from me. I mean, I have the engineering capabilities to pick up the phone and call somebody. and talk through it. And it's probably going to be a pretty easy conversation, but I don't want to
Okay.
assume that until I've actually talked to them, you know.
No, and that's fine, and I appreciate that. I know we're in the early stages here. I just want to make sure that